Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm back with another video, and it's going to be on the TCMT I guess you would call it a windshield vent. Like I said, I got the Amazon one. It's the TCMT. I went on their website and they didn't have any templates that you could download and print out. But I did go, well, actually I say I did. My wife ended up going and downloading these. I told her to print it out two different ways, because one way, if the sheet's up like that, then the template's not going to be the right size. So if you print it out, you're going to have to turn it and print it long ways, and then you'll have a proper template. So just to keep that in mind. Also too, this is instructions for a gold wing vent, which is basically what all these vents are pretty much made after. So got the windshield off the bike, got it set up, and I guess basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to probably end up putting it just above here. And the reason I'm doing that is because I got that windshield bag. I don't want to lose that, so I'm going to put up above here, which a lot of people show it here anyway. I did see one guy do it below it, but he didn't have a windshield bag. So like I said, I don't want to lose the bag, so I'm going to put it up here above it. And just from what I've seen online, people usually put down masking tape, you know, then put the template on top of that, drill some holes, and then cut it out with a jigsaw, which is what I got over here. Just a regular old jigsaw, Black & Decker, nothing fancy. Gonna get back to this. I'm gonna get everything cleaned up and taped off, and the template put down where I want it, and then I'll come back and show you what I got. Okay, let me show y'all what I got. I got the template laid down. I found the center line, and of course, I don't know if you can see it, but that's the screw mark. So as long as that's lined up, that should be the middle. And then I just taped around it. I'm gonna cut these four corners out, so I'm not worried about those. Not cut them out, but I'm gonna drill holes. And then I'll probably take a tool I got. Basically it's like a Dremel, but this tool right here, and try to ease into the line on the corners, so I ain't worried about the corners too much. But that's pretty much how I laid it out, and I got it figured to where it's going to be just above the bar. So that bag came just above it, so it won't be in the way. I did take the bag out too, just so I don't hit it and mess it up. But a lot of people might be wondering why you would put a vent in your windshield, but anybody that's been riding for a while knows that there's a pocket of air that comes up behind the windshield. If you put a vent in there to break it up, it's not quite as bad, so that's why I'm doing it. Anyway, I'm gonna cut this out real quick and I'll come back. Okay, people. As you can see, I got 4 holes drilled, and I did not step the bit out. I went straight to the big bit, and I'm gonna show you why you should probably step it out and take your time. But that's a big old crack. So, and there's where a piece broke out, but it didn't crack. If you're gonna do this, you definitely need to step it out. Like start with a small bit, or if you got a step bit, that would be even better. Start out with a small bit and then step it up with the step bit, because now I got a cracked windshield, which I'm gonna go ahead and cut it out and put the vent in. I don't think the crack's gonna go any further. It might, I don't know. But I'm planning on putting a bat wing fairing on this bike anyway when I get the money. So this was just a temporary thing anyway. But yeah, just to let y'all know, that's what can happen if you don't step it up, and instead of trying to drill that one big hole at one time. So that was me being impatient. Anyway, I'm gonna cut this thing out and we'll come back. Okay, I'm making this video hopefully so that y'all don't make the same mistakes I've made. For one thing, if you look at there, see how rough that edge is? Now I did cut out most of the crack right here, because the crack went up here between the two holes, so that's the only little crack I got to deal with. But I used too much of an aggressive blade on my jigsaw. As you can see right there, it's probably a little too much, but probably get you a finer blade would be my suggestion. But if you look right here too, I can get this camera to act right. Yeah, let's do it from the front so you can see what I'm talking about. Alright, see this little notch? Nope, can't see nothing. See this little notch? That is for that piece right there. They don't tell you to cut it out, and I had to work the corners a little bit too with that grinder to get it to fit, but without that notch cut out, it won't sit down in there. But as you can see, it fits pretty good, and most of the damage that was done on the edges and the crack is not going to be real visible, especially after I put that bag back in there. And I probably could do something to hide it a little more, like paint it or whatever, but like I said, this is all temporary anyway. But when I get the money, I'm planning on getting a bat wing fairing for it. But just so y'all don't make the same mistakes I did, get you a sawzall blade with a little finer teeth on it, because those are a little rough that I used. Take your time drilling the holes, because that's where I messed up. Should have stepped it out and I didn't. But anyway, I'm gonna put it together and clean it all up and put it back on the bike, and we'll let y'all see what it looks like. Anyway, that's what the bike looks like without the windshield on it. I like it, I just don't like riding without a windshield. Anyway, I'll be back. Okay, all in all, turned out pretty good, minus the crack. And like I said, with the bag on there, you gotta look pretty hard to see it, but hopefully where that trim comes across, it'll keep it from vibrating too much and continuing on down, because if it gets down to here, like down all the way to the edge, it's going to start making noise and flapping and whatnot, you know, just, it ain't gonna be good. But anyway, hopefully y'all learned something. I know I did. Like if I had it to do all over again, I would definitely do it again. I mean, I haven't rode with it yet, so I don't know if it's going to reduce the wind pocket as much as they say it does, but we'll probably do a little test ride here in a little bit, and I'll let you know what's going on with that. So stay tuned. Alright people, I'll go ahead and tell you, I went for a ride without my helmet on, and the vent cut down a lot on the wind coming into my ear. I know, you know, like it's normally like the wind noise is really loud, like even if you wear earplugs. So it's cut down on that a lot. As far as the buckling on my helmet, I can't really tell. Seems to be about the same. So, and I've tried the vent in different positions. The barely open position seems to work better out of all of them, but I know later on too I want to get the lower I don't know, I guess they call them lower wind deflectors, and they normally mount like on the side of your forks. So I guess you could call them fork mounted wind deflectors. Either way, it's supposed to help with the wind coming up from around the gas tank, which always hits me, you know, right about where my chin's at. So hopefully, if I can get all that, you know, then I'll be where I want to be as far as how to bike ride and cutting down on some of the wind coming in or whatever. I mean, you know, get on a motorcycle to be in the wind, but if you ride for a long distance, that wind will beat you up, and that's, to me, that ain't no fun. So I'm gonna do what I can and try and get it all straight. Like I said, it's a work in progress. I just been buying a little bit of stuff here and there, you know. So eventually it'll be where I want it to be. And like I said, if I do the back wing fairing, then that's, you know, I'm gonna get a color match to match the red. And I'm not sure if I'm gonna get the one with the speakers and all that stuff or not. I think I just want to, like, maybe a Memphis Shades back wing fairing that doesn't have the stereo and all that stuff. I don't know, I listen to music, but I listen to it normally like with my earplug Bluetooth headset, I guess. But what it does is it blocks off like probably 80% of the noise that you would normally hear without anything in your ears. So, you know, that works for me. Plus the music sounds pretty good too coming out of it. So I'll probably continue to just do that, because the batwing pairs I've been looking at with the stereo systems installed are like $1,800. That's for a good one. I'm sure I can find something cheaper, but I don't know. I was always the type of person that, you know, you don't cheap out on certain things. And when it comes to stereo equipment, that's something I don't really cheap out on, because it makes for a really bad, you know, listening experience. So I try to get some halfway decent stereo equipment if I'm going to get it. So the batwing fairing I'm looking at is going to be $1,800 or higher. I can't remember. Watch this buzzer, but them jokers will fly right out in front of you. But anyway, I'm happy with the vent. Not very happy about cracking my windshield, but right now it's kind of inconspicuous, so if it don't crack anymore, I guess it'll be okay. And it is what it is. I mean, I don't know of anybody that I could have took it to that would do it for me, so I had to do it myself. That's just the way it works. So anyway, that's going to be the end of this video. I do appreciate y'all watching, and I will see y'all in the next one.